Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We're going to continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 24, Text 11. Samudrim Deva Devoktam.
Samudrim Deva Devoktam.
Upayene Shatadrutim.
Upayene Shatadritam.
Yam Vikshya Charu Sarvangim.
Yam
Yam
Charu Sarvangim.
Kishorim Shustav Alankritam.
Kishorim Shushtu Alankritam.
Parikramantim Udvahe.
Parikramantim Udvahe.
Chakame Ni Shukim Iva.
Chakme Agni Shukim Ivaha.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj Barishat, henceforward known as Prachina Bharhi, was ordered by the Supreme Demigod Brahma to marry the daughter of the ocean named Shatadruti. Her bodily features were completely beautiful and she was very young. She was decorated with the proper garments, and when she came into the marriage arena and began circumambulating it, the fire god Agni became so attracted to her that he desired her company exactly as he had formerly desired to enjoy Shuki. So Maharaj Barishat, his name is Prachina Bari. Does anyone remember who was he?
I have heard his name, Prachin Barhi, but he was one of the he was one of the Prajapatis, but I'm not able to recollect his story, like something he did. But this name has come across, Prachin Barhi.
Yeah,
Right?
Barishat. Yesterday we were hearing he was the son of Antardhan. Yeah, he was a Prajapati. He was the son of Antardhan, right? Antardhan was the son of Prithu Maharaj. So he's the grandson of Prithu Maharaj. And yesterday we heard that he was doing a lot of sacrifices. So in this verse, the word Shushtu Alankritam is significant. According to the Vedic system, when a girl is married, she is very profusely and gorgeously decorated with costly saris and jewelry. And during the marriage ceremony, the bride circumambulates the bridegroom 7 times. After this, the bridegroom and bride look at one another and become attracted for life. When the bridegroom finds the bride very beautiful, the attraction between them immediately becomes very strongly fixed. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, men and women are naturally attracted to one another. And when they are united by marriage, that attraction becomes very strong. Being so strongly attracted, the bridegroom attempts to set up a nice homestead and eventually a good field for producing grains. Then children come, then friends, and then wealth. In this way, the male becomes more and more entangled in the material conceptions of life, and he begins to think, this is mine, and it is I who am acting. In this way, the illusion of material existence is perpetuated. So as it is for the male, it is also for the female. As the husband gets attracted to the wife gets attracted to the husband, and then this strong bond is created. They say, right, the man alone, he can stay anywhere. But then when the wife comes, then only the nice house. Then, of course, in those days, it was fields, farming. So that's why I said field for producing grains. Then, of course, the woman, we want children, and then, of course, need more wealth. And then we get all entangled, and this is mine, and I'm doing this. So the words Shukim Iva are also significant, for the fire god Agni became attracted by the beauty of Shatadruti while she was circumambulating the bridegroom Prachina Bhargi, just as he had previously been attracted to the beauty of Shuki, the wife of Saptarishi. When the fire god had been present long ago at the assembly of Saptarishi, he was attracted by the beauty of Shuki when she was circumambulating in the same way. Agni's wife, named Swaha, took the form of Shuki and enjoyed sex life with Agni. Not only the fire god Agni, but the heavenly god Indra, and sometimes even Lord Brahma, and Lord Shiva, all very highly situated demigods, are subject to being attracted by sex at any time. The sex drive is so strong in the living entities that the whole material world is running on sex attraction only. And it is due to sex attraction that one remains in the material world and is obliged to accept different types of bodies. The attraction of sex life is more clearly explained in the next verse. So it seems before the wife would circumambulate the husband, we have that both the husband and wife, we go around the fire. But it seems the fire also was there. That's the reason Agni was present too. The fire was there also. Anyway, somehow the other Agni also became attracted to her. So it's mentioned as he had gotten attracted earlier. And then Prabhupada is mentioning that sometimes the great demigods also get attracted. Vibudha, Asura, Gandharva,
Vivudha Asura Gandharva
Muni, Siddha, Naroraga,
Muni Siddha Narorpura
Vijita, Surya, Dikshu,
Vijita Surya Dikshu
Vana, Yanti, Yeva, Nupure,
Kvanayantaya Eva Nupure.
While Shatadruti was thus being married, the demons, the denizens of Gandharvalok, the great sages, and the denizens of Siddhalok, the earthly planets, and Nagalok, although highly exalted, were all captivated by the tinkling of her ankle bells. Generally, a woman becomes more beautiful when, after an early marriage, she gives birth to a child. To give birth to a child is the natural function of a woman, and therefore a woman becomes more and more beautiful as she gives birth to one child after another. In the case of Shatadruti, however, she was so beautiful that she attracted the whole universe at her marriage ceremony. Also reminds that how Rukmini was so beautiful that the men were all fainting, no, when she was all dressed up. Before Krishna took her away, and they were all wanting that there was going to be her supposed marriage to Shishupal, and all the men were fainting. So indeed, she attracted all the learned and exalted demigods simply by the tinkling of her ankle bells. This indicates that all the demigods wanted to see her beauty completely, but they were not able to see it because she was fully dressed and covered with ornaments. Since they could see only the feet of Shatadruti, they became attracted by her ankle bells, which tinkled as she walked. In other words, the demigods became captivated by her simply by hearing the tinkling of her ankle bells. They did not have to see her complete beauty. It is sometimes understood that a person becomes lusty just by hearing the tinkling of bangles on the hands of women, or the tinkling of ankle bells, or just by seeing a woman's sari. Thus it is concluded that woman is the complete representation of Maya. What do we women have to say about this? Any comments? Complete representation of Maya.
It's a good thing. So if we want, we can, offer ourselves to Krishna and also make others do that. Like when we can do this.
Yes, it's true. Also, we have to understand, as we are Maya for the man is the Maya for the woman.
For us, yes.
Yes. You know, that's something that we have to understand too.
Yes.
So, reading on, because after all, we are neither man nor woman. We are spirit souls. No?
Yes.
Okay, so then although Vishwamitra Muni was engaged in practicing mystic yoga with closed eyes, his transcendental meditation was broken when he heard the tinkling of bangles on the hands of Menaka. In this way, Vishwamitra Muni became a victim of Menaka and fathered a child who is universally celebrated as Shakuntala. The conclusion is that no one can save himself from the attraction of woman, even though he be an exalted demigod or an inhabitant of the higher planets. Only a devotee of the Lord who is attracted by Krishna can escape the lures of woman. Once one is attracted by Krishna, the illusory energy of the world cannot attract him. Because Krishna says, those who surrender unto me, he can cross over this existence of material, this ocean of material existence. So we know the pastime. And does anyone remember?
I remember there was a pastime of two acharyas. I'm forgetting the name. Maybe you can add the name. That the other acharya said to his guru that Gurudev, I will, like women, they can never attract me. He was very proud of himself for this, for his chastity, that, oh, women can never attract. So then the Gurudev said, okay, you stay in the ashram, I'll go. I have some work to do. And then Gurudev dressed as a woman and came, and then he was so beautiful, and then he knocked on the door and he said that, oh, first he just knocked on the door and he just called out, oh, listen, I was just passing from here, so I'm very tired. It's very nice. It's really dark. So can I have some space to stay? Then the Shishya, the disciple, and they are very, very famous and exalted. I'm just forgetting the name. So the Shishya from inside answered, oh, okay, there is a kutir near here, so you can go and stay there for tonight, and I think that will be okay. And then the women left, and the whole time he was thinking, oh, her voice was so good. What would happen? Let me go and check on her. Is she okay? What will happen? And then he also told that women that don't open the door for anybody, no matter what. If anybody comes for you, then don't open the door. Just go and stay there and close the door. And then he goes there. And then he said, oh, okay, no problem. I think she'll be okay only, but let me go and check on her once. So he knocked on the door and he said, open the door. He said, who's there? He said, I am the person who let you in here. He said, but you only told me that not to open the door for anybody. So I'm not opening door for anybody. He said, no, open. Because the desire came that he wanted to see the women now, because she was talking more and she was very nice voice and very lovely and everything. And so he said, no, open. I will just see that you're okay and then I'll just leave. He said, no, but you only told me no, not to open. So I think I'll not open the door. He said, no, open the door. And then she opened it, and then he went inside and he said, oh, and he saw the face and he said, you're so beautiful, marry me. And she said, what? But you are Acharya. How can, but you live here, and how can I marry you? Said, no, marry me. Then she said, okay, I'll only marry you at one condition, that you paint yourself all black and you go to I think the Yamuna river, beside the Yamuna, and then only I'll marry you. And then he painted himself all black and everything. And then because he was so much engrossed in the love of that woman, that he did everything, and then he didn't even realize that what was happening. And then when he was walking he was waiting at the Yamuna for her to come, and then the Acharya came and he fell at the feet and he said, what is this? See, I told you that it is very difficult to resist the woman. So this was the thing, that it is very difficult to resist. He said, no, it is not difficult. You see what will happen to us, who will come. No, we are very... So the guru proved to the disciple that it is very difficult to resist women. And please, can you give the names? I'm just forgetting the names.
I don't know this pastime actually, so I won't be able to give the names. This is the first time I've heard this pastime.
Oh, this is very famous acharyas. Yeah, they're very, very famous acharya, both of them. Yeah.
Well, that's what it is. So then let's read on. But well, what came to my mind was Haridas Thakur. That Haridas Thakur, the beautiful prostitute, came to him three nights in a row. And he was like, let me just complete my japa. I need to chant my rounds. Please wait, please wait. And she would go back in the morning and he was like, sorry, I had to chant my rounds. That's why I couldn't satisfy you. Then she was like, okay, I'll come back in the night. So it happens 3 nights. And then in the third morning, the end of the third night, in the morning, she surrenders herself to Haridas and said, I'm sorry, I came to frame you actually. I came to give you a bad name on somebody employed me kind of, somebody's paying me to do this. But I want to take initiation from you. So she instead got purified by hearing Haridas Thakur chant. And he said, I knew it from the first time when you came, I could understand it. I didn't leave I could have left, but I didn't leave because I wanted to deliver you. So this is the glories of Haridas Thakur, who was a pure devotee of Krishna. He was so attracted to Krishna that no material beauty could attract him.
So the prostitute also became a devotee, right?
So prostitute became a devotee and she became famous. People used to come to her to see her then. That the prostitute has turned into a great Vaishnavi. And then people were coming to her, Yeah. So that's how, a devotee is called a touchstone. He turned her into a devotee. Your devotee is like a touchstone. Wherever he goes, he makes others into devotees. Okay. Prachina Barhisha Putra. Shatadrutyam Dashabhavam. Tulya Nama Vrita Sarve. Dharmasnata Prachetasa. King Prachinabari begot 10 children in the womb of Shatadruti. All of them were equally endowed with religiosity, and all of them were known as the Prachetas.
Yes.
The word Dharmasnata is significant, for the 10 children were all merged in the practice of religion. In addition, they possessed all good qualities. One is supposed to be perfect when one is perfectly religious, perfect in the execution of one's vows to render devotional service, perfect in knowledge, perfect in good behavior, and so on. All the Prachetas were on the same level of perfection. So he got these 10 Prachetas who were perfect personalities. Pitradishta Prajasarge.
Pitradishta Prajasarge.
Tapase Nirvam Avishan.
Tapase Arvam Avishan.
Dasha Varsha Sahasrani.
Dasha Varsha Sahasrani.
Tapasa Chams Tapaspatim.
Tapasa Archam Tapaspatim.
When all these Prachetas were ordered by their father to marry and beget children, they all entered the ocean and practiced austerities and penances for 10,000 years. Thus they worshipped the master of all austerity, the Supreme Personality of God. Sometimes great sages and ascetics enter the Himalaya mountains in order to find seclusion from the turmoil of the world. It appears, however, that all the Prachetas, the sons of Prachina Barhi, entered the depths of the ocean to perform austerity in a secluded place. Since they performed austerities for 10,000 years, this incident took place in the Satya Yuga, when people used to live for 100,000 years. It's true, no? Here we barely live even 100 years. So in Satyug, people could perform meditation, austerities, people could perform the yogic practice for 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 because they were living for 100,000. That's why in Kali Yuga, what is recommended for us is Harinam Sankirtan, because we do not have such long life to perform meditation for 10,000 years. It is also significant that by their austerity, they worship the master of austerity, Shri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If one wants to perform austerities and penances, in order to attain the supreme goal, one must attain the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the mercy of the Lord is required. If one achieves the favor of the Supreme Lord, it is to be understood that he has finished all kinds of austerities and penances and has attained efficiency in their execution. So how can we get the mercy of the Supreme Lord? Yasya prasadan bhagavad prasado yasya prasadan nagati kutopi. By serving the pure devotee. By serving the pure devotee, we can get the mercy of the Supreme Lord. By displeasing the devotee, the Lord is displeased. On the other hand, if one does not attain the perfect stage of devotional service, all austerities and penances actually have no meaning. For without the Supreme Lord, no one can attain the highest results derived from performing them. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 5.29, Lord Sri Krishna is the master of all penances and sacrifices. Muktaram yagyatapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram. Thus, the desired result of performing austerities may be derived from Lord Krishna. That's why Bhagavatam says that we are full of material desires, we have no material desires, or we desire liberation. Worship Lord Krishna. Whatever we want, ask from Lord Krishna. Because Lord Krishna is the master of all sacrifices and penances. He can fulfill all our desires. In Srimad Bhagavatam 3.33.7, it is stated, Aho batasva pacho togariyan yajivagre vartate namatobhyam te pustapaste jugo sashnuraryam brahmanujurnamagrananti. Even if a person is born in a family of Chandalas, the lowest birth one can get in human society is glorious if he chants the holy names of the Lord. For it is to be understood that by such chanting, a devotee definitely proves that he underwent all kinds of austerities in his previous life. By the grace of Lord Chaitanya, one who chants the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, attains the highest perfectional stage, which had previously been attained by people who entered the ocean and executed austerities for 10,000 years. So yeah, the scriptures, the Vedas are telling us in this age of Kali, we are recommended to chant the Hare Krishna mantra for our perfection. We do not have a long life as the people did in Satyug, that we can do meditation for 10,000 years. We don't have that. In this age of Kali, if a person does not take advantage of chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, which is offered as a great concession to the fallen human beings of this age, it is to be understood that he is very much bewildered by the illusory energy of the Lord. Because it's, when one is chanting, one can get all the benefits of doing austerities for thousands of years by chanting the holy name. So we should take advantage of this chanting. We don't need to go inside the ocean, be there for 10,000 years. We simply have to chant the Hare Krishna mantra in the comfort of our own homes. Yad uktam pati drishtena.
Yat uktam pratidrishtena.
Girishena prasidata.
Girishena prasidata.
Adhyayanto japantascha.
Tadhyayanto japantascha.
Pujayantascha samyata.
Pujayantamscha samyata.
When all the sons of Prachinabari left home to execute austerities, they met Lord Shiva, who, out of great mercy, instructed them about the absolute truth. All the sons of Prachinabari meditated upon the instructions, chanting and worshipping them with great care and attention. It is clear that to perform austerities or penances, or, for that matter, any form of devotional service, one has to be guided by a spiritual master. Yeah, we cannot just make up our own way and say, oh, I'm engaging in devotional service. We have to follow authority. Otherwise, we just become a nuisance in society if we just make up by ourselves, Here it is clearly stated that the 10 sons of Maharaj Prachinabhai were favored by the appearance of Lord Shiva, who, out of great kindness, gave them instructions regarding the execution of austerities. Lord Shiva actually became the spiritual master of the 10 sons, and in turn, his disciples took his words so seriously that simply by meditating upon his instructions, dhyayanta, they became perfect. This is the secret of success. After being initiated and receiving the orders of the spiritual master, the disciple should unhesitatingly think about the instructions or orders of the spiritual master and should not allow himself to be disturbed by anything else. So hearing the instructions carefully. This is also the verdict of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, who, while explaining the verse of Bhagavad Gita beginning Vyavasayatmika Buddhir Eke Hakuru Nandana, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, text 41, points out that the order of the spiritual master is the life substance of the disciple. The disciple should not consider whether he is going back home, back to Godhead. His first business should be to execute the order of his spiritual master. Thus, a disciple should always meditate on the order of the spiritual master, and that is perfectional meditation. Not only should he meditate upon that order, but he should find out the means by which he can perfectly worship and execute it. With the instructions comes the empowerment. When one hears the instructions well, one gets empowered also to carry out the order. So the order of the pure devotee. Vidurvacha.
Viduruvacha.
Pracheta sam giritrena.
Pracheta samgiritrena.
Yatha sit pati sangama.
Yatha asit pati sangamaha.
Yad utaha hara pritas.
Yat utaha hara pritas.
Tanno brahman vadarthavat.
Tanno brahman vada arthavat.
Vidur asked Maitreya, my dear Brahmana, why did the Prachetas meet Lord Shiva on the way? Please tell me how the meeting happened, how Lord Shiva became very pleased with them, and how he instructed them. Certainly, such talks are important, and I wish that you please be merciful upon me and describe them. We can see how Vidura, he's asking relevant questions, He's not sleeping when Maitreya Muni's been talking to him. He's really interested to know, and he's putting relevant questions. Like Parikshit Maharaj also, when Sukadev Goswami is speaking to him, he's putting relevant questions. So whenever there are some important talks between a devotee and the Lord, or between exalted devotees, one should be very much curious to hear them. At the meeting of Naimisharanya, where Suta Goswami spoke Srimad Bhagavatam, to all the great sages. Sutta Goswami was also asked about the talks between Maharaj Parikshit and Sukadev Goswami. For the sages believed that the talks between Sukadev Goswami and Maharaj Parikshit must have been as important as the talks between Lord Krishna and Arjuna. You know, how many are interested nowadays to actually hear the talks between the devotees? We are more interested, what was the news today? What did this one say to that one? What? You know, the whole internet. We are surfing the whole day. We are looking. How? Completely different. And here the pure devotees, they are so eager. They're so eager to hear, oh, what was the topic was being spoken between these devotees. So as everyone is still eager to learn the subject of Bhagavad Gita in order to become perfectly enlightened, Vidur was similarly eager to learn from the great sage Maitreya about the talks between Lord Shiva and the Prachetas. So are we eager to hear what Lord Shiva told the Prachetas?
Yes.
Sangama khalu viprarshe
Sangama khalu viprashe
Shiv Veneha Sharirinam
Shivena iha sharirinam
Durlabho Munayo Dadyur
Durlabho munayo daddu
Asangadyam Abhikshitam.
Asangadyam abhikshitam.
The great sage Vidur continued, O best of the Brahmanas, it is very difficult for living entities engaged within this material body to have personal contact with Lord Shiva. Even great sages who have no material attachments do not contact him, despite their always being absorbed in meditation to attain his personal contact. Since Lord Shiva does not incarnate himself, unless there is some special reason, it is very difficult for an ordinary person to contact him. However, Lord Shiva does descend on a special occasion when he is ordered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this regard, it is stated in Padma Puran that Lord Shiva appeared as a Brahmana in the age of Kali to preach the Mayavad philosophy, which is nothing but a type of Buddhist philosophy. It is stated in Padma Puran, Mayavadam asakchastram prachanam bodham uchyate Maiva vihitam devi kalau brahmana murtina. Lord Shiva, speaking to Parvati Devi, foretold that he would spread the Mayavad philosophy in the guise of a sannyasi Brahmana, just to eradicate Buddhist philosophy. This sannyasi was Sripad Shankaracharya. So this reference is there, the conversation between Lord Shiva and Parvati Devi. The reference is there in Padma Puran, where he's telling her, I'm going to come in this age of Kali as a Brahmana, and I will teach this voidism, atheism, impersonalism. And he's going to do that to eradicate the Buddhist philosophy. In order to overcome the effects of Buddhist philosophy and spread Vedanta philosophy, Sripad Shankaracharya had to make some compromise with the Buddhist philosophy. And as such, he preached the philosophy of monism, for it was required at that time. Otherwise, there was no need for his preaching Mayavad philosophy. So the need of the moment was to bring the faith back in the Vedas. That was an important thing that he needed to do. This was a service that Lord Shiva did. At the present moment, there is no need for Mayavad philosophy or Buddhist philosophy, and Lord Chaitanya rejected both of them. This Krishna consciousness movement is spreading the philosophy of Lord Chaitanya and rejecting the philosophy of both classes of Mayavadi. Strictly speaking, both Buddhist philosophy and Shankara's philosophy are but different types of Mayavad, dealing on the platform of material existence. Neither of these philosophies has spiritual significance. There is spiritual significance only After one accepts the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita, which culminates in surrendering unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, this is the reason Krishna has spoken the Bhagavad Gita for our benefit in the age of Kali, so that we can follow his instructions of Bhagavad Gita. And the sum and substance Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying, surrender unto me, abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. Generally, people worship Lord Shiva for some material benefit, and although they cannot see him personally, they derive great material profit by worshipping him. Atma Ramopi yastva asya
Atmaramo yastu asya
loka kalpasya radhase
loka kalpasya radhase
shaktya yukto vicharati
shaktya yukto
vicharati
gauraya bhagavan bhava
Dhuraya Bhagavan
Bhava.
Lord Shiva, the most powerful demigod, second only to Lord Vishnu, is self-sufficient. Although he has nothing to aspire for in the material world, for the benefit of those in the material world, he is always busily engaged everywhere and is accompanied by his dangerous energies, like the goddess Kali and the goddess Durga. Lord Shiva is known as the greatest devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is known as the best of all types of Vaishnavas, Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. Consequently, Lord Shiva has a Vaishnav Sampradaya, the disciplic succession known as the Rudra Sampradaya. Just as there is Brahma Sampradaya coming directly from Lord Brahma, the Rudra Sampradaya comes directly from Lord Shiva. So, which is the Sampradaya coming from Lord Shiva?
Rudra.
Yeah. So, Lord Shiva is one of the 12 great personalities as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 3, Text 20. Swayambhur Narada Shambhu Kumara Kapilo Mano Pralado Janako Bhishmo Balir Vyasakir Vayam. These are 12 great authorities in preaching God consciousness. The name Shambhu means Lord Shiva. So this Mahajans, the names of the 12 great Mahajans, which appears in Srimad Bhagavatam. So this Swayambhur, does anyone know who's Swayambhur?
Swayambhur Manu.
Manu.
Yeah.
Swayambhu Manu.
Here, but Manu is coming here. Yes, this Swayambhur is
Swayambhu
referring
Narada.
to
Narada also written. Swayambhu Narada.
This Swayambhur is referring to Lord Brahma. He's called
Oh.
Swayambhur also because Swayambhur, like self-born kind of, because he's not born from any material parents. He's born directly from Lord Vishnu. You know, we all have material parents, no? But Lord Brahma, no. He's coming directly from Lord Vishnu. So this Swayambhur is Lord Brahma. Then Narad, Shambhu, Kumara, Kapilo, Manu is here.
Okay, yeah, Manu. Yeah.
Prahlada, Janak, Bhishma,
Bali.
Balir, Vyasakir, and Vayam. One of them is Yamraj and one of them is Sukadev Goswami. Okay. So the name Shambhu means Lord Shiva. His disciplic succession is also known as the Vishnu Swami Sampradaya. And the current Vishnu Swami Sampradaya is also known as the Vallabh Sampradaya. The current Brahma Sampradaya is known as the Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So we are coming in this Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Vishnu Swami is the Acharya in the line of Rudra Sampradaya. That's why it's known as Vishnu Swami Sampradaya.
And they have written that it is also Vallabh Sampradaya
Yeah.
in the present, right? The Vallabh Sampradaya is the Rudra Sampradaya, that means,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes.
Because this is very, very
That's right.
famous, the Vallabh Acharya.
So I'm not sure if it's the same one.
Oh,
Yeah, that
okay.
you'll have to see. I don't know. That you'll have to find out.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know.
So,
So
so
anyway,
this is like, that means that the Guru Shishya Parampara is that the Vishnu Swami is the Guru from
yes.
whom everything is coming, right? That's what it means.
Yeah, he's the Acharya in that line.
Acharya,
Yes,
right?
Lord
Vishnu
Shiva.
Swami.
Yeah,
Okay,
yes.
okay.
So Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, because Madhvacharya is the Acharya.
Yeah.
Gaudiya, followers of Lord Chaitanya. Hmm.
Okay.
So even though Lord Shiva appeared to preach Mayavad philosophy at the end of his pastimes in the form of Shankaracharya, he preached the Vaishnava philosophy. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam Mudamate, he says. So Shankaracharya, because he's Lord Shiva, after all, he's a pure devotee of the Lord, so he has to glorify the Lord. So he stressed worshipping Lord Krishna or Govinda 3 times in this verse, and especially warned his followers that they could not possibly achieve deliverance or mukti simply by word jugglery and grammatical puzzles. If one is actually serious to attain mukti, he must worship Lord Krishna. So Shankaracharya, although he's the one who's doing the word jugglery, he did all this misinterpretation, but he's still guiding his followers and telling them, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam Mudamate. Worship Govinda, worship Lord Krishna. So one may want liberation, but one cannot get liberation by mental speculation, by just using some words. No. By using some nice words or using some nice logic, we'll still find ourselves in the material world. The only way we can get liberation is surrender to Krishna. That is Sripad Shankaracharya's last instruction. Herein it is mentioned that Lord Shiva is always accompanied by his material energy, Shaktya Goraya. Material energy, goddess Durga or goddess Kali, is always under his control. Goddess Kali and Durga serve him by killing all the asuras or demons. Sometimes Kali becomes so infuriated that she indiscriminately kills all kinds of asuras. There is a popular picture of Goddess Kali in which she wears a garland composed of the heads of the asuras and holds in her left hand a captured head and in her right hand a great khadaga or chopper for killing asuras. I've seen that picture. I don't know if you all have seen it.
I have
As
seen.
Prabhupada is saying. Yeah, it's popular. It's true. It is popular. Great wars are symbolic representation of Kali's devastation of the asuras and are actually conducted by the goddess Kali. Shrishti Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Rekha, Brahma Samhita 5-44. Asuras try to pacify the goddess Kali or Durga by worshipping her in material opulence. But when the asuras become too intolerable, the goddess Kali does not discriminate in killing them wholesale. So we can see that she's, even if they are her worshippers, she's not letting them go. Here Krishna is saying, you become my devotee, and he's giving full protection. Krishna is saying, do not fear. I will deliver you. You just surrender to me, and I will take you across this ocean of material existence. You can come to my spiritual world. You will get free from sinful reactions. You will get eternal life. Krishna is saying, become my devotee and I'll give you so much. And here we can see that worshippers of goddess Kali, when they're becoming intolerable, she's killing them herself. I'm
And
not
Krishna
sure
is
if you all
also
have.
called like Bhakt Vatsalya. Bhakta
Yeah,
Paradhin, and so he loves them so much.
yeah, yeah. And goddess Kali, goddess Durga, there is one pastime. We are going to hear about it in the 5th canto. When
Oh,
Bharat Maharaj, who is born as Jar Bharat,
mm,
in his 3rd life, he's born as Jar Bharat, and then the dacoits are going to sacrifice him in front of goddess Kali. They are worshippers of goddess Kali, so they want a good, what do you say, hefty young man, like a
for the
healthy
sacrifice. Yeah.
for sacrifice. So they give him good food, they give him good clothes, garland, and tilak and everything, and they're giving him to eat food, and he's a pure devotee of the Lord. He's eating, he's not concerned. And Kali, she comes out of her deity and she kills all the dacoits there and there.
Mm.
So, reading on, Asuras do not know the secret of the energy of Lord Shiva, and they prefer to worship the goddess Kali or Durga or Lord Shiva for material benefit. Due to their demoniac character, they are reluctant to surrender to Lord Krishna, as stated by Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, text 17. Chapter 7, text 15. Namam dushkritino muda prapadyante naradama maya ya prarita jnana asuram bhavam ashrita. Lord Shiva's duty is very dangerous. Why is it dangerous? Because he has to employ the energy of the goddess Kali or Durga. She's his wife. She's listening to his orders. He's the Lord of the material world. Krishna is the Lord of the spiritual world. In another popular picture, the goddess Kali is sometimes seen standing on the prostrate body of Lord Shiva, which indicates that sometimes Lord Shiva has to fall down flat in order to stop the goddess Kali from killing the asuras. Since Lord Shiva controls the great material energy, the goddess Durga, worshippers of Lord Shiva attain very opulent positions within this material world. Under Lord Shiva's direction, a worshipper of Lord Shiva gets all kinds of material facilities. In contrast, a Vaishnava or worshipper of Lord Vishnu gradually becomes poorer in material possessions because Lord Vishnu does not trick his devotees into becoming materially entangled by possessions. Lord Vishnu gives his devotees intelligence from within. So then one may say, oh, I want to get devotee of Lord Shiva, he's going to make me rich. Why should I become a devotee of Lord Vishnu? He's going to take away my wealth. Any takers on this? Any comments?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
if
it's
we
devotees.
worship Lord
Hmm?
Shiva, we are still going to get the material benefits and we are going to stay in this material world. And
That's right.
we'll be taking birth after birth after birth and
Yes,
just
that's right.
in the material world. So if we
Yes.
want to get out of it, we have to pray to Lord Krishna, to Vishnu, to go back to the where we have come from, go back to Godhead, to
Spiritual world.
Golok, yeah, to
Yeah,
the spiritual
to
world.
spiritual world. Yes, because we are spirit souls.
Yeah.
We are not material bodies. Thank you. So Lord Vishnu gives his devotees intelligence from within as stated in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, text 10. Tesham satata yuktana vajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. To those who are constantly devoted and worship me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. Thus, Lord Vishnu gives intelligence to his devotee so that the devotee can make progress on the path back home, back to Godhead. Since a devotee has nothing to do with any kind of material possession, he does not come under the control of the goddess Kali or the goddess Durga. So Krishna is saying, because Krishna is in our heart, he's the Paramatma. He also says in Bhagavad Gita, from me come knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. He helps us remember. He helps us forget. He also gives us knowledge. And he's saying now to the devotees, he's giving the intelligence of how they can go back to Him, go back home, back to Godhead, to the spiritual world. So Krishna is our real friend. He's our best friend. Lord Shiva is also in charge of the tamogun, or the mode of ignorance in this material world. His potency, the goddess Durga, is described as keeping all living entities in the darkness of ignorance. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Nidra Rupam Samsthita. Darkness of ignorance. What is this darkness of ignorance that we are
The body.
in?
We are the body.
That's right. Yeah, we have completely forgotten who we truly are, completely forgotten our real identity, spirit souls. We have loving relationship with Krishna completely, like not even a slight, tiny bit of remembrance, just so much in darkness. Both Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva are incarnations of Lord Vishnu. But Lord Brahma is in charge of the creation, whereas Lord Shiva is in charge of the destruction, which he carries out with the help of his material energy, Goddess Kali or Goddess Durga. Thus, in this verse, Lord Shiva is described as being accompanied by dangerous potencies, Shaktya Goraya, and that is the actual position of Lord Shiva. So, yes, so we will continue to hear the instructions of Lord Shiva to the Prachetas tomorrow, because this might be a little long. Yes. Did anyone want to add or comment anything? Question?
It is just that how beautifully they said that nobody other than Krishna can save you. Not even goddesses Durga, not even Shiva, not even no one, nobody. They can definitely make your stay here nice. You can get the benefits, but they cannot save you, but they cannot take you back to Godhead. Nobody. Only and only Krishna can. And he's so merciful, he doesn't even ask for anything. If you just offer a tulsi leaf, if you just sing for him a bhajan, you just bow down, not even forget offering, forget anything. You don't have to even offer anything. Just bow down. Just once. And chant out his name, and he's ready to take you. So, like, we say that we are so fortunate that at least we know that he is the one. We are on the right path, and thanks to Prabhupada and all the devotees and acharyas who have, with their mercy, that we are on the right path. At least we know that Krishna is our best friend. Krishna is our everything.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhaktavrind ki jai.